So I am here in Carbon Market, and from City Hall I was told that the real property assessment and payment is now transferred in the second floor of SM City Cebu. So I might just take the opportunity to buy those shield cloth for my gardening thing, because apparently it's only available here in Carbon Market. So they still continue on with vendors all around. Although they are not as close to one another as they used to be, there are loads of pots here. Ma'am, namo anang net para sa garden? Asa na siya mapalit, ma'am? So they got loads of plastic pots over here, but I don't like pots. I'll try over here in Sea Trading, see if they got those net for garden to shield the cloth. Ayun. So there are still a lot of vendors. You can see here and there. So I'll try to see this netting on the fisherman shop. And I'll just go tomorrow to SM City to sort out my real property taxes. So like the difference, there's not much a difference. They're still selling close to one another. Only here that they have a distance. Madam, pagi ako, madam. Thank you. And here used to be full up with vendors. There's now a gap. So here, Visayan Shipping Supply. So loads of people here. This is, I'm asking here in Sea Trade about their garden netting, and they only sell it by roll, which is 4,500 and 100 meters roll. I don't need that kind of thing. You see, that's the traveler's pension if people want to stay on a very cheap budget hotels and pension house here in Carbon Market. But it's very, very, you know, very uncomfortable for me. But if you want to experience the real life Philippines, when you visit here in the Philippines, you can stay in places like that, and it's really cheap. So most shops here in Carbon Market has to do all the social distancing. You cannot go in and ask for your stuff. You have to be outside. Na may baligya ng net nga para garden, sir?
Ay sa siman na.
By rule man itibuk. Rule man sa ipapalit sa imuhag gun. Gamay ra katong
Ay sa Idsan, ma'am.
Asa dapita sa sir?
Sir, kasing katag sila ang minuto.
Idsan?
Oh, di ko kaya.
Sige, thank you sir. Thank you sir. So I was asking him if they have net gardening, but they don't have it. So he said, try the Edson marketing. Natagak na yung anchurros, bahala ka. There's Oison marketing. This is still the Carbon Market with less the crowd, you know. Not the usual crowd that you see before. This is Edson over here. There's already Christmas thing there. So that's Edson Fishing Supplies. So all your pots, gardening pots need. Over here. I'm here now in this Edson Fishing Supply to see if they can sell me those garden net for by meters, not by whole roll. This is located here in somewhere. There's another fishing supply there, Crown. So that's another thing that I could ask. I go over to another fishing supply, which is called the Crown Fishing Supply. Their garden netting is more cheaper than the other side. It is 65. They're here. The double netting here is only 60 per meter, so 5 pesos difference. But they're just on the other side. You know, that's Edson. Here I am in Crown Fishing Supply. So this is where you get all the cheaper supplies, even the ropes and other stuff that you need. Ako daga.
Hindi, yayo itong daanin nila. Napaksit, nakapalit ko itong bag ko.
Mora na siyang kulura, green rag black ga. Green lang. I was asking here, it's just the only color available for that. It's either green or black, so it seems like the green it is, because black seems, I don't like the color black. She's now doing the metering on it. Yeah, that's a good one. I could also use that on my orchids thing. So that's the one I'm buying. The garden netting to protect all my orchids from the heat. 15 dudong. Because I might just nail it over to, I think there's someone suggested that it's better to do it with, but it's already, it's a net, not just a cloth, so I think it will be okay. It won't accumulate water on the top. So I'm buying a rambutan here for only 35 pesos per kilo. You know, in the groceries, they're charging you about 100 pesos per kilo to 120. They're lanzones. Someone who loves lanzones as my walking friend, it's only 50 pesos per kilo. I'll just have you to have a look at it. Dara madam, oh. So you can see why Carbon Market is such a hot spot, because people are not practicing social distancing. Look, it's the market of all markets here in Cebu City. Hello, madam. Salamat, madam. Thank you, madam. So look, the vendors here are still plugging their wares. So that's what you do. You go around and see the lowest price of the item that you need. Like I got this at 35 pesos per kilo. You can see there they are 40 pesos per kilo and 50 pesos per kilo for rambutan. So I gotta go home now. I can't reach SM anymore, so I just have to film around so you can see what's happening here in Carbon Market. Oh my cup is so heavy. So it's still traffic. There's now difference that it is social distancing. It's not been observed, as you can see there. Oh, another lanzones. My walking friend is now lanzones season. All the wholesaler of on spring onions and other items. I would love to buy some more, but I'm struggling to carry them. I got all my files for the realty tax. There's the wholesalers are here. I'm going off from City Hall. You can see that most of the boats, passenger boats, are taking turns to take passengers to the nearby islands. So look at them, just stand by there on the docks. I gotta have to go because that traffic is so much. I'll just come back here and to update you on the third bridge, although you can see some of them but on the other vlogs, but you know, it's different with my own vlogs. But anyway, there's what you can see up ahead. All the boats are, and then the restaurants here on the left side, most of them are closed. So that's the docking area. Pier 1. The Gotong lines mostly there. Come on. So that's the Malacanang in Cebu, and this is, you can see here, Yale Hardware. I was hoping that I could film the seller of outboard engine because that seems to be popular. You got loads of questions about the different prices, but they won't allow anyone in. You'll just be served on the front, so no point on filming around really, unless you're in like a department store. So this is the Plaza Independencia on the right side. There's the name, Plaza Independencia, Cebu City, Philippines. And if you go on the, this is also the place where Port 1, boats from Bohol coming in here. That's Pier 1 straight ahead. So this is like the heart of Cebu City, Plaza Independencia. You can see that you are not allowed to go in. You can see the cars are just there because they're not allowing them to go in and pick up the passengers like it used to be before. You're gonna turn around. I hope you go faster. Why? Oh, you finally decide that you can have a winker on. So it'll be another day for me to sort my taxes. At least I started earlier, not the end of the day of the September. So it's still the 24th today. So I got 6 more days. So if I go to SM City tomorrow, that's the 25th, and then hopefully I could sort it all out. So this is the MG Cuenco street here in Cebu City, where you can find the Cebu State College of Technology on the right side, and most of the trade shops for Marines, like fixing diesel engines, gas engines, because this is the Barangay Tinago area. Like, look at that on the left side, that's High Pace Machine Shop, MG Cuenco, Cebu City. So in this area, we can find the rewinding shops. They are known for that, the rewinding shops, the parts for engines, and like the mixer parts. And if you want it, like not just the bearings and all that, because the bearings can be bought in auto shops, but you know, like parts, actual parts, like the let's say the rolling thing of it gets broken. So this is where I find this, or anything on my machines, because this is like a machine about machine areas. They also fabrications around here, do fabrications. I know a shop here that fabricates. So it's mostly machine shops. You can see it both sides. Trust Maritimes, it's calibration services. This is one of the most densely populated barangay here in Cebu City, Barangay Tinago. There's a lot of urban settlers around here. The trading industries, industrial parts. So this is where you find it here if you're into the machines fixing. So on the way through, so I'm now taking you to a driving video in the streets of downtown Cebu City. I'm still in MG Cuenco Avenue. That's Cebu bolt. You know, you buy different kinds of bolts in that one. Wholesale prices. Look, parts, Gemini parts. And you go further, you see that the former prison cell of Cebu City, which is now, if you look at on the right side, that's the former prison cell during the Spanish time, becomes Museo Cebu, Museum of Cebu. But that used to be the former prison cell. And this one here are all the, look, fabricators, steel fabricators are there. Because I have done some business here before. I have something fabricated. And also the tires and auto parts on this area of MG Cuenco. Like old tires. And now we're coming to the end of MG Cuenco. We're gonna turn around on, I'm going to the right side. And then join that main road there. across there, that's Norega San Miguel, another densely populated barangay, because we are in the heart of Cebu City downtown. So it's a green light, so I have to go straight on. Lock the doors because some people here just open your car and sit down with you and ask for money. My friend already experienced that one. There's a lot of beggars here as well. So many sellers of water and snacks, but you can see that they are there congregated. I call them they're not, I try to be politically correct, squatters, but they're just urban settlers, I call them, and they're everywhere here. Hipodromo, that's another big barangays. You can see the DSWD on the right side. That's the regional office of the SWD that oversees Region 7, which is including Bohol, Negros, Cebu, Leyte, a part of Leyte, and some parts of the Visayas. So we're just now waiting for the traffic. I'll just turn up a bit. It's green light to turn on the left, so I'll be turning on the left, going to Talamban north of Cebu City. We'll be passing by Carreta Cemetery. That's a public cemetery where I featured once the family that lives around the graves. And you can see a lot of those lapida makers, you know, the headstones. So I'm going in Ayala, so I will avoid the traffic of Gorordo Avenue, but this multi-cab seems to be blocking the way. I'll have to go straight. I'm gonna have to go by Gorordo Avenue. This is General Maximum Extension here, and that's the main General Maximum Extension straight on to Puente Esmeña. It's green light anyway. I could go in. We are now on Gorordo Avenue, and on the right is Colegio Inmaculada Concepcion of Cebu City, because there is a Colegio de la Inmaculada Concepcion in Mandaue City as well. So this is the Gorordo Avenue, where you find on the right side the Camp Sotero Cabahog Police Station. I am familiar around this area because I spent my childhood around. We live in Gorordo Avenue. So I used to walk the streets. So you can see all the buildings rising up ahead. Some of them is already outside the Cebu Business Park. They're just on the same vicinity, but outside the actual park. And traffic is now getting heavier. It's now almost 4 o'clock in the afternoon. It's green light, go. So Gorordo Avenue is one of the oldest streets here. A lot of Spanish families live around this area, Gorordo Avenue. Then it's connecting to Iscario, you know. And it's a lot of improvements around here than when I used to live here. And that's the nun school across there. So I'll have to film those. They got repo units for sale. Let's see how cheap they are, because a lot of people want me to do some update on motorcycle prices again. So I think I gotta have to get up and film around again. So you can see the buildings start rising up, and you know, the people that live here knows about Tungyan restaurant. There will be a big condominium rising up there soon. The disputes, I think, is already been sorted. That's the Eco building montage. You can see all the plants up there on the building coming out. It will be open soon. So the used to be the karaoke bar there, that it's already been boarded out because there will be, it's been sold out to a condominium development. So that's Cebu Business Park over there. On top there's Synchrony building, but basically it's like the posh part. This is now uptown Cebu City. I've just been to from downtown Cebu City. You can see the dilapidated state. It's not so posh like you are seeing here in uptown Cebu City. Well, all the high-rise condos, high-rise buildings are here. The Cebu Business Park, the IT Park, and it's slowly developing more over here. So, but if you go to around the Colon area, of course, you have the reputation that those areas are not safe. But for me, it'll be the same everywhere. Even if I'm on other countries, I don't feel safe anyway. The only thing I feel safer is actually Japan. But then again, you still be wary of your surroundings, you know? Be tuned on to your surroundings anywhere you go. I mean, I have grown to be like that since I grew up on those areas of Gorordo Avenue, in the squatters area of Gorordo Avenue. So you need to be tuned on to where you are. That's my usual route. This is you can hear all my suspension on this. I'm with my old banger, but you know, the urban settlers there in Barangay Luz, across the nice buildings of Grand Con and Waterfront Hotel. That's ironic, isn't it? All the development around them, Cebu Business Park, Grand Con, but yet all these urban settlers will be like, your eyes will drawn to that because all the shanties around, look, and you're surrounded with all the tall buildings. Sometimes, you know, it's been a famous incident here that some of these taxi drivers will purposely look for accident, then they don't have to pay for the boundary of the day. I mean, boundary means they call that boundary, but it's actual rent for the day of the taxi. So they can tell the taxi owner that, no, I had an accident, so they keep their earnings. So that's why I'm worried about, like, when they try to be awkward on the road, like not staying in their own lane. So the influx of traffic, what is wrong with this little car? It's driven by a learner, I think. It's causing a lot of traffic. So you can see the influx of traffic going towards the north of Cebu City, Talamban. There's IT Park on your left side, and there's the 8th Avenue is already open. It's these are the workers of the Grand Convention condos. I'm gonna have to visit here to have the 88th Avenue, where lifestyle service apartment hotels and all the different restaurants in there. That will be good to be featured. And I noticed that since I'm always doing building work, some of my OFW subscribers and viewers have stopped watching my channel, but they have to understand that I have to keep myself safe as well, because I cannot just go out like it used to be and meet people because of this pandemic right now. So this is Banilad Road, the usual route I take, and on that further top you can see University of Cebu, Banilad, and across it is Country Mall. So I think I'm gonna have to stop soon. You can see all the traffic police in their neon gear. And there's Mandawi Foam, the branch here in Banilad. It's not as big as what their main one in Hernan Cortez. And there's the famous fruit vendors, the expensive fruit vendors of Kasambagan. So it's becoming trafficker, and now this is the usual route I take, the UC Banilad of University of Cebu Banilad. Across is Cebu Country Mall. I'll turn off now. Let me just position the car properly. I'll turn it off when I'm safe, so my hands will be full on the steering wheel.